I'm so glad to be here. The steak and the scissors.
Steak and scissors? Oh, you mean the wizard CZ and never wrong Nick Bull.
You have never hunted something like this. Don't hunt what you can't kill, fella.
So it's that kind of wrestling podcast.
I want to be the guy throwing snakes at people.
Then you've found the right place. The podcast by the fan, for the fan. The card subject to change.
The surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, Mantar.
Here now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the Wizard CZ and never wrong Nick Bull.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan, for the fan. Of course, I am your host, never wrong Nick Bull. So happy that you're here to join us. Our little show, Card Subject to Change, our little corner of the world of wrestling and wrestling fandom. Episode 240, the most over box in wrestling. Yeah, I'll let you think about that for a minute while I bring in my tag team partner. My tag team partner, been here since the beginning. He's the engine that makes this thing go. He does all the graphics for the show, and the graphics are really, really cool. If you haven't noticed. But if you haven't noticed, I'm giving the graphic man some love, very much love and respect here. But he is my tag team partner, and he's not yours. He is the one. He is the only. He is the Wizard CZ. Wiz, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm feeling really good. I appreciate the shout out on the graphics, and I'm having a good day. We are, of course, the Card Subject to Change podcast, proudly sponsored by Lopez Pizza, where you can get the largest slice in the Quad Cities. So go check them out. Always a good time down there, and especially on the weekends, you'll catch some wrestling friends. You'll catch our good buddy Mike tending bar in the evening. So, well worth your time. But no, we don't have a guest this week, Nick. We are talking WWE because they just had the last stop on the road to WrestleMania, the last PLE stop on the road to WrestleMania.
They did a later WrestleMania, much like last year's. When I say later, we're talking mid to later April. I think is it 19th and 20th this year?
18
I don't
and
remember
19.
the dates. What's that?
18 and 19.
18 or 19. I'm sorry.
7 weeks.
Mid, a little past midpoint of the April month. So we're now, yesterday was the end of February. This is the first day of March as we record this. So you're essentially a month and a half away now. 7 weeks from, WrestleMania night 1 and night 2 now, now that we're on Sunday. So a lot of stuff can happen in between. And I know WWE is doing a lot of shuffling here on the fly behind the scenes with the recent injuries that have happened. And I'm talking about Braun Breaker having hernia surgery, and then Bronson Reed, who was probably going to be very much a part of WrestleMania, or WrestleMania plans, tore his bicep during a qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. They had to change that on the fly. So a lot of stuff has not been going to plan for WWE. So I was interested to see how they would pull things off with last night's show. And with the injuries that have happened, some of the wind has been sucked out of the sails as we are on our way to WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania season. And with last night's pay-per-view, as we record this and go live here, we're going to get to that in a little bit. I like what Jumpin' Jeff Farmer said there. I like that. We'll get to that in a little bit. Trust me, we're going to get to Alex. What is a Danhausen? Correct. I'm going to go with wrestling gimmicks that did not get over for 500, Alex. And then I read the next clue. But no, we'll get to that, I promise you. But going back to what I think they had to make, a statement here last night, last time they really can. And oddly enough, with NXT Stand and Deliver now being 2 weeks before WrestleMania, kind of, one less chance to hype them on the day of WrestleMania. So it's kind of a interesting thing that NXT is removing themselves from a couple weeks, and on top of that, with the low ticket sales in Vegas this year, I'm interested to see in the injuries. They're going to pull something off, and we'll see what they can pull off. And they pulled off an all right show last night. I'm not going to say it's the greatest pay-per-view I've ever seen. It's not the worst one I've ever seen. But it was okay. It was okay. And I hope that the Raws and the SmackDowns between now and WrestleMania really kick things off. And we'll talk about that later on in the show when we talk about what comes out of this and what's on SmackDown this upcoming week.
Yeah, very much so. And like you said, this was a decent show. Not their best effort, but very much not their worst. It's no WrestlePalooza, that's for sure. But no, we had some decent matches. We had some good talent on this show, and I'll be honest, the one that surprised me the most was Kiana James. They are pushing her to the moon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, this is second PLE of the year. Of course, coming off the Rumble last month, and she was number 3 in the Rumble, I believe, and had a pretty good showing, like near a half hour, and looked strong in her showing. So I can't remember what she did significantly before the Rumble, but she's impressing some people, and she's getting showcased in these things. Makes you wonder what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Like, I think that's going to be a question you're going to hear throughout this podcast tonight as we address Elimination Chamber here on episode 240, CZ, is what are we having coming out of here? What is this in 7 weeks in regards to WrestleMania? So I don't want to dwell on that now. We're going to pick that apart, especially on both chamber matches, what this means for Mania for those people. But that was kind of a recurring theme in my head, and maybe why I kind of graded so harshly on this. Letter grade to follow. You got to go to the end of the podcast for that one, folks.
For sure. I was talking with our good buddy Tim Regal down at Lopez today. I stopped down for a little bit.
What wrestling was on?
There was it looked like a best of Sid Vicious conglomeration.
You know what I saw went up yesterday on YouTube? It went up yesterday. I was so tired I couldn't watch it last night, but it will be my wrestling viewing tonight. The best of Test.
Ooh.
Yes.
Right up your alley.
I know it is, man. I know it is. So we're definitely going to get to that. Definitely, I'll have to watch that before next week's episode, give you a little review of that. But I seen that last night. I was drifting off, and I'm like, well, I know what I'm watching late tomorrow night. So,
but Tim was saying, and I kind of tend to agree. The women's chamber match was a lot better than the men's this year, in my opinion.
When you say better, and I'm not being a jerk. What's better? What's better mean? What's better in your eyes?
I think up until the end, the men's match was just kind of blah. There wasn't really a lot of pop to it until Rollins came out and then Drew came out. Honestly, and the women's match, just there was so much going on. It was hard to follow, and there was so much.
Okay, I can give you that, but I think it was pretty obvious who was going to win the women's chamber.
Fair.
And it was nice to get a little surprise with Orton sneaking one in out of nowhere. There weren't a million finishers applied, like boom, hit him, done. 1, 2, 3. Like, I liked that about the men's chamber. We had to me a surprise. And if anybody's like, oh, I knew Randy was going to win, where were you a week ago or a few days ago saying that? Because I didn't see anybody saying that was going to happen.
Right.
So
I'm not dumping on the
ending
match.
was better.
Oh yeah. The ending was definitely better on the men's. I'm not dumping on the men's match.
Right? No. But I know what you mean. There was a lot more going on. Yes.
It felt like there was a little more meat on the bone with the women's match.
Correct.
It's
okay. It seemed like with the women's match, not to trump what you're saying here and take this away from my time when we do speak about the women's match, but like all 6 participants had like their time to shine, and like the ones that do the higher spots each had their opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe the men didn't let their match breathe a little bit, but yes, the women's match had more movement, more things going on during the duration of the match. I can agree with that.
And good Lord, Raquel Rodriguez had a showing. That double pin was something else. How often do you see two people get pinned at the same time in an Elimination Chamber match? I know it's happened before, but not very often.
I mean, the last time I remember it happened was what, WrestleMania 38 with Roman pinning Edge and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Was that 38 or 37?
Thought it was 30. I'd have to look. It's one of the two.
It's getting older thing. Isn't working.
I know.
I'll look here real quick. I'll look here. But
I mean, you know, we talk about the predictability of the women's match. Yeah, the writing was on the wall. If Rhea didn't win, it was going to be Tiffy, in my opinion.
yes,
But
yes.
I don't know that people want. WWE obviously doesn't want us to have Tiffy versus Jade, and they're really showing. They're really shoving Jade into the deep end by putting her against Rhea at Mania, aren't they?
I don't know if they're putting her into the deep end. It was WrestleMania 37, by the way. I want to thank our great crack research staff for finding that. Thank you guys in the back for getting that. But WrestleMania 37, night 2. Oh, there he is. Hey, Striker! What's going on, buddy? Thank you. WrestleMania 37. Yep, night 2. It's how the show ended. And that was right. That was like the end. That was right at the end. And I think like the next night that Roman came out on SmackDown, he had the new music that became the big.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. So that's how I remember that. So yep, WrestleMania 37 night 2. Go to SmackDown that following. That would have been on Friday, right at the time, I believe. SmackDown's been on Friday for quite some time now, and Roman comes out to that theme that made him so get so over. So yep, says Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. He agrees. So yeah, L.A. Night. Yeah. Never wrong, Nick Bull. Yeah. No, another guess. I know what you mean. The women's one seemed a little bit predictable, but making up for the predictability of it, in my opinion, CZ, is the fact that there was stuff going on.
Oh, and a lot of it.
Does it say like I think Jade Rhea is bigger than Jade Tiffany.
I agree.
And now you're going to see somebody who's going to be able to throw Rhea Ripley around.
Woo-hoo.
Because
I didn't think about that.
She's legit strong. I mean, and then they put her in there with Rhea because Rhea's the top draw. They obviously see something in Jade if she's the champion, right?
Right.
There's no shame in her dropping the title if she does. If she retains against Rhea at Mania, holy cow. Look for her to go on a monster run.
Strap a rocket to her.
Who's going to beat her then? If she can retain cleanly over Rhea at Mania, she's made and she's going to be a champion for quite some time. That's my opinion. I don't care who wins at Mania right now. I really, what I'm rooting for is that we can get a really good match. I'm not talking about, hey, let's go out there and get 5 stars. If this thing gets us 3.25, 3.5 in our standards, I'd be thrilled because you've got Jade as champion. They're building her reign. I think she's had maybe 1 title defense, and now she's set up to take on the biggest monster face star in the business, man or female. She's a star. So I think that's why WWE had Rhea win this, because they know Rhea will do what's right and make Jade look even better, help her in the ring. She's a veteran type of deal. They're not throwing 2 newbies in there. And at the same time, I mean, I like what Jumpin' Jeff Farmer's saying here. I'm going to click on his comment real quick.
This one?
Yep, that one. Yep, you read my mind. If Jade wins, she holds it until Bianca or Naomi comes back. I would agree with that.
Yes.
And from what we know about Bianca's injury, it's like she's 8 months out. She had surgery, like her finger was all cut. And, oh, dude, it was nasty. But 8 months. And, that's past pushing SummerSlam at the very earliest right now. We see her back. But I agree. If Jade does beat Rhea, she's got a rocket strapped to her, and there's no stopping her. There's no stopping.
Even if Jade loses, it's not going to hurt her because she's losing to Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
What's that?
Am I wrong?
No, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
No, I said that even if Jade loses, it's not going to hurt her because of who she's losing to.
Not at all. Not at all. She came into Mania as champion.
Yeah.
She leaves there, though. Holy crap. You know that they think the world of Jade then. And, if Rhea loses, she doesn't really lose anything.
Right.
She does win the title at Mania, which she's done in 39. She did it at 39, so she's done that before. It's something to keep an eye on. Everybody thinks Rhea's going to walk in there and just wipe the floor with her, but Jade, they want to showcase Jade. They think the world of Jade to have her as the champion coming in. Moment to moment, but man, Jade would be so much over, I think, if she walks out of here as champion.
I agree. And I think she's gonna explode when she does walk out with that championship.
What does Zach take his pipe in there with on the side? I see his name.
He wants to have a preview roundtable with us.
He'll have to get in talks with our people. I've always said our staff is the best at booking and managing their schedules and who comes on and who we do crossovers and stuff with. So it's up there in their hands. I would say there's probably a good chance, but it's in their hands.
I'll have our people call your people.
Absolutely.
Nick, before we go on to the next match, we've got a couple things that we've been asked to touch on. We actually have a special message from a local legend that I'm going to play here.
Okay.
This is the Quad City legend himself, El Grande, Quad City Cano, and I'm here to tell you fellas you are doing an amazing job, and keep up the great work. The Sorcerer Nick Bull, and always wrong CZ.
Wait a second.
Did we switch gimmicks?
Wait a second. We watched Elimination Chamber together last night.
Yeah.
You also hung out and watched AAA on YouTube in my house last night.
Yep.
This guy was in the background, I swear, in one of the backstage segments they did, walking around. I seen that mask and a shirt like that, a similar build. And I gotta get a spelling on El Grande Quad City Cano.
Yes.
Is Quad City one word or two? And yeah, I need a spelling on that. So maybe if El Grande Quad City Cano, thank you for the contribution. Thank you for the message. We always like the positive vibes around here.
Yes.
We'll take that. But I'm never wrong, Nick Bull. I don't dabble in sorcery or wizardry. Not my cup of tea. But he is the wizard CZ.
And I don't think I'm never right, but I'm not always wrong either. So,
but yeah, hey, love to have a lucha presence on the show. I've been watching a lot of AAA, man. I've been watching a lot of AAA, so I wanted to know if El Grande Quad City Cano is getting excited for the Rey de Reyes coming up on March, I think 14th.
Yeah, that's a good question.
With Vikingo and Dominic in a very interesting stipulation for the AAA Mega Company-owned championship.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get back to us and let us know his thoughts on what's happening all in AAA. And if you saw him backstage, then I mean he's got to be down there grinding away in the business, right? I
mean, I don't know when he sent this message in, but I know what I saw last night. I'm going to have to now go back and watch AAA from last night again. I know they're right around like 48-minute episodes. They're not bad. But I'm going to have to go back and see if I can find where I saw him in the background, and you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely do. One other piece of business, we have been asked to send prayers to La Pringella. This is the significant other of El Pringle from SCW, a rather new newcomer to the Quad City area. And La Pringella was viciously attacked by JT Energy after his frustration boiled over from what happened at the events of the last show at Heartbreak. Which controversial finish to that Iowa Championship match. JT definitely made excuse me. JT definitely made El Pringle tap out, but at the same time the pinfall was going, and I can understand to a bit JT's frustration, but maybe don't take it out on someone's significant other. Send your thoughts and prayers.
I mean, El Pringella, will she be recovered in time for Epic? Will she even be around for Epic? Or will she still
be determined? To be determined. I hear they're putting together a Go Yarn Me fund for her.
Okay. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once we have it, we'll send it out. But yeah, let's get back to business. Just wanted to, like I said, we had some people send some stuff in that wanted to give a shout out, and I'm happy to support our friends and family here, part of the Quad City, part of the Card Subject to Change family of shows. We have a lot of good people that are watching, and I always like to give them credit when they give us credit,
Oh, for sure. We're a helping community here, man. We're going to put you over, you put us over, everybody works together, and everything's going to be great for everybody. And that's kind of like the attitude around here. So,
yep.
We hate to bring the show down, but now we're going to talk about the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between champion Becky Lynch and challenger AJ Lee. AJ Lee's first match in 11 years.
First singles match in 11 years.
Singles match in 11 years. Thank you. There's no way she's going to win, right?
Right. I mean,
fine. But
when you've got a crooked ref like Jessica Carr, though, according to Becky Lynch,
the way she lost was awesome because Jessica Carr was the ref. Jessica Carr did go back and fix the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Becky hit it later in the match. It comes off. It's just, I knew at that point AJ was going to win, and Becky is just going to be miserable. She's going to be belligerent. She's going to be out of her mind. And her segment come Monday night is going to be real fun to watch because I'm anticipating a rematch at Mania between these two.
I'm sure there will be.
She's absolutely going to, she's lost her shit, and she's going to be gone, and Monday night's going to be great.
And I wonder if she will demand that Pierce remove Jessica Carr from the reffing situation. Or maybe Pierce will just, put his foot down and make Jessica Carr the referee at that match too.
I mean, I didn't let the outcome of this match ruin it for me.
Right.
But it ended and went down like I thought it was going to as soon as I saw that Jessica Carr was the referee.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be good. I mean, she's got to be the referee every time. And Pierce has always got to say, oh, it's random assignments, blah, 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 blah. I love it.
It's brilliant storytelling, and I love, the interactions that Becky and Jessica have been having because of everything that's gone down. Yeah, it's fun. I'm anxious to see what happens next. But AJ Lee, what do you think of her winning the Intercontinental Championship on her first singles match back?
I'm letting Memphis in here. He's trying to get in. Hold on one second.
He's a good dog.
He is a good dog, and he let me know when he had to come in. Come on. Go ahead. Go. You're asking me what I thought of
AJ
what?
Winning a title on her first singles match back in 11 years.
Absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. Here's why. Becky Lynch is at the top of the game. And I'm suspending disbelief. But after 11 years, you're going to win your first singles match back and knock off the best. I just didn't like that part of it. But it had shenanigans. And, you know, the stuff with Jessica Carr, so I can be on board with it for a while.
Right.
I don't mind the rematch, but like it didn't pop me. I just more kind of chuckled at how Becky got screwed over.
Oh, for sure.
What about you?
I mean, I'm not upset by it, but it's not the greatest because she's been out for so long. She's been gone for 11 years, and she hasn't had very many matches since she returned. I'm sure she's been training with her husband, but to come back and win a title on your first match back in 11 years, that just seems kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, winning a mixed tag, I don't care, but like winning the mid card title on your first time out, I guess at least it's not like the main championship, right?
Right.
And what's Stryker have here? He smells Jessica Carr versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. And hey, there's some possibility there, right?
Oh, for sure. I can see it happening.
Because Jessica Carr, if you're aware, also wrestles under a mask on Evolve, correct, CZ?
Yes, correct.
Have you seen her wrestle on Evolve?
I have not. I have only seen one episode of Evolve, and that was the premiere. So much going on, so much wrestling out there.
No. I totally get it, because my confession is my only exposure to Evolve is like, Jackson Drake and then Swipe Right, the Vanity Project, being on NXT and seeing those guys and what they're up to. Otherwise, I don't watch Evolve. So that's why I asked. Anybody in the comments, if you're not watching live, reach out to us on socials if you've seen Jessica Carr wrestle and Evolve under a mask.
Yes.
What is the gimmick? Do you know what the name is?
I looked it up and I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I mean, I don't expect you to remember because I don't even remember. But someone said she wrestled under a mask. I had heard that she wrestled under a mask and Evolve. So this could go somewhere. Like it could, it could lead to something between those two, and that'd be awesome. Becky working with her and kind of putting her over in that way. But that remains to be seen. But Stryker thinks that goes at SummerSlam. So Stryker says here, that she's all right. He's watched her, and to be honest, so that's a wrestling fan watching. I'm gonna go maybe put that on the list of things. I got this list of stuff now to watch. The best of past. Now I need to watch Jessica Carr matches on Evolve.
Calyx.
What's that?
Calyx is her
Calyx
name. Stryker beat me to it. I was trying to find
Or
it.
is it Calyx?
Maybe it's Calyx. As long as it's not Cowlix, that would be kind of weird.
Or Phallix?
Right. We don't want any of that.
No. But I'll have to check those out because I'm kind of intrigued if what she can do as a wrestler. We've seen her as a ref so much. I want to see what she can do as a wrestler. But
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the outcome as much, but how it ended, I could live with because I could see a rematch at Mania. What about you?
Oh, absolutely.
What about you?
I feel the same. I feel the same way. I'm not the biggest AJ Lee fan. I'm not the biggest Becky Lynch fan, so this match really didn't do much for me overall, but I'm not upset by the way it ended.
Okay.
You are tuned in to the Card Subject to Change podcast, proudly sponsored by Lopez Pizza, the largest slice in the Quad Cities. Don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We are here talking about all things Elimination Chamber from this past weekend as we record this. We had a pretty big title match. Everybody's up in arms about CM Punk jeopardizing the main event of WrestleMania by putting his title on the line against Finn Balor.
He says he's here. While he's here, he's going to wrestle. He wants to be a fighting champion and says that Balor he's got respect for. He earned the spot. So if you watch their match from Belfast, it was really, really good.
Yes,
Did it win our match of the month, by the way?
that's a good question.
I don't think it did, but it was in the conversation.
It was in the conversation. I know that much for sure.
Punk and Balor on Raw from Netflix from Belfast was pretty darn good.
No, the January match of the month was Gunther and AJ.
Okay. It was a good match. It was in the running besides those. I know we talked about it.
Right.
Could they replicate that in Punk's hometown? Punk making a title defense. The last show, major PLE before Mania in Chicago. It was kind of the CM Punk checking of the box clause night, if you will.
Yeah.
You had AJ win the women's Intercontinental. You've got Punk defending the belt against someone he respects and can have good matches with in Finn Balor. We'll talk about more of the Punk factor later. But I personally, I love Finn Balor. Like, he's one of the guys I tune in for when I watch Raw on Mondays. Obviously, I'm a Gunther guy, but Balor is easily one of the other guys I love. I love watching his matches. I dig the Judgment Day with him in it. I know a lot of people don't, but I've always kind of run with it and dug it. I loved him and JD McDonough as a tag team together. I think they work. They're a good unit together. But I know that, he needs a title run. He needs to be known for the guy that was only the big champ for one night before he had to forfeit at the next.
Agreed. Completely agreed.
Champion holding that WWE Universal title. But he had to forfeit it. That's what he's always been known for. And I think he's paid his dues and earned his time. He's paid it. He's earned it. He puts on great matches. He seems to be well respected by everybody. I've never heard a bad story about him. And I got mad respect for the guy. And I did not think he was going to win. And here's why. I think something's going to happen with him in Judgment Day, either after this match. I thought going in, either after this match or on Raw, that, accelerates into something with him and Dominic for the IC title at WrestleMania. That's where I seen this going. So I did not see him winning. Had Finn Balor have won, I would have think they would have made this a triple threat with Balor, Reigns, and Punk getting his rematch at WrestleMania. And the honest truth, I'd rather see that three-way match than whatever's going to become of, on the other side, even though I think we're hearing multi-man match, but I'm also hearing different things. We'll talk about that when we get to the men's match. But I really enjoyed, was excited for this match to see what these two would do. Did not expect Balor to win, but was also interested in seeing Punk, inside the United Center. First show WWE had done inside the United Center in decades.
And the fact that the entrance before his actual music hit, the throwback to the Bulls entrance from the Jordan era,
that was cool.
Brilliantly done. I thought that was a nice touch.
If it were one-on-one on the road to Mania, do you think Balor would have won? No, I don't. I think Punk would have still won. Maybe, I don't know. Depends. I guess the circumstances going into that, but
yeah, I think it's also.
I got mad respect for Balor. He's one of the guys I tune in for and watch, and I root for him. And I don't need Demon Balor. I like the Balor we have now. It's great music.
Yeah,
it's distinctive. You know it when he comes out. He puts on good matches. He's in tremendous shape. And for an undersized guy, a junior heavyweight, he can go. And he's proven it year in and year out. And I think it's time for him he needs a run.
Yeah, I definitely think he needs a run. And it's a shame that he hasn't had one since that one day.
It's a shameful shame.
What?
It's a shameful shame.
Very much so. Overall, I thought this match was really good, though. I thought it was well put together. There were a couple times where Balor teased about calling the Judgment Day boys, who commentary made sure to point out were in the building, and just didn't. And the handshake at the end, I thought was well done.
Yeah, I anticipate Balor getting called out on Monday night for that handshake afterwards type.
Absolutely.
And then that starts to unravel as we get on our way to WrestleMania. I don't know what's going to happen with the women in the Judgment Day. And
that was going to be my next question. Do you think this is the beginning of the end of the Judgment Day?
It could be. it could be like, I could see maybe like if Liv wins at WrestleMania, her and Dom breaking away. I don't know. I think it could be. And where's JD McDonough going to go? Is he going to go with his buddy Balor? Is he going to stick around? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Dominic would leave them all behind in an instant. And then what about Roxanne? She's kind of the odd one out right now. I know she's recovering from an ailment. She had a procedure done, but she should be back. I know obviously she wasn't a part of Elimination Chamber last night, but she's got to be in the plans for WrestleMania. She's one of the best talents they have. And
I'm honestly surprised that there hasn't been more play up between Liv and Roxanne.
I know. But we got 7 weeks. Maybe she can do some backstage stuff before she can do ringside stuff. But they still got to find a way to use her, in my opinion. And I think she's got to be used in this to create doubt in Liv's mind.
Yeah, I don't disagree one bit. And that brings us to...
Or her and Dom get caught in like compromising positions. You know what I mean?
Has that ship sailed, though? You would have thought that would have happened while Liv was gone.
Maybe Liv being so busy now as the number one contender, she doesn't have time for Dom, and they write in Roxanne that way.
Okay.
I don't know. I know that ship has sailed. I really wanted to see that happen. And maybe just I'm a hopeless romantic and I want to see it happen, and it's never going to. And this is my way of seeing that. But I don't know. I'm for it,
Yeah. We will see. Stay tuned, as they say. And that brings us to the main event.
Well, did you like Punk and Balor? Were you fine with how it ended?
Yeah.
I've said it before. I got mad respect for Punk. I just wish he would not do the go to sleep anymore. It just kind of gets sloppier and sloppier each time. And then it's not a knock. It's like, if you can't do the move anymore, that's fine. Just do something else. Nobody's going to look at. No one's going to think different. So I'd like to see that go away. But he kept up with the younger Balor for sure. And Finn has another good match. I don't know how many times he's got to audition for the powers that be in this company to have a good match here, have a good match there. I mean, he's been putting them on for years and years and years. It's time to get this guy in the main title picture. Man, I'd love to see him having gold somehow before the end of the year.
Oh, for sure.
Main gold.
Right. Oh, one thing that I noticed that hasn't really been talked about, there was a little bit of blood through the first 3 matches. Just a couple of Tiffy got her mouth busted somehow. AJ and Punk were all bleeding somewhere in the mouth area in those 3 matches. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. I don't know. I know Punk sometimes wears a lip piercing. Punk looks like it was from his lip.
That's what I was thinking too.
He probably bit it and got agitated or whatever. I also read today. I didn't see it because I got up a couple times and left the room during the women's elimination chamber match. I was getting out, dude. I was starved. I had to find some food. And I guess there was a wardrobe malfunction with Kiana James. Have you seen or heard anything about that?
I did not see anything.
Okay, someone said something about that online. And then, you notice later in the men's match, some of the lighting went out. I don't know if that happened. Was it it wasn't like that during the women's elimination chamber match, was it? So maybe some lights got broke during the transitioning of it, but man, they rehearsed those things. So I don't know if maybe something hit it. I don't know.
Maybe. Or maybe the chamber got jostled on the way down for the men's match or something.
Could have.
It looked weird. It looked very weird. But yeah, the men's elimination. What did you think of this match overall?
I've heard critics say it was kind of blah, and with Logan Paul eliminating half the field, no one saw that coming, so that was a surprise. I can't say I saw Logan Paul eliminating half the field. The double unmasking. Who saw the first person unmasked last night on that show? CZ, where have you seen that guy before?
He is a former guest and friend of the podcast, Mr. Sean Logan.
Yes, he is. He has been on this.
Sean Logan.
He has been in this said studio, the Card Subject to Change studio here, and has been on the show with us. So that was awesome to see. That was cool. It's like, yeah, all right. We kind of know that guy. But
I noticed that whenever they do the replay, they do not show his unmasking. They just show him being carried off.
Correct. But we got to see it. The world got to see it. You know, someone's got screen grabs of it out there somewhere. But you saw the first person unmasked. Yes, that's Sean Logan. We've had him on our show before. Cool dude, and cool to see him get some exposure there on the main stage of a PLE of wrestling. But
Striker, do you know something that we don't?
You can call. I don't call him that. Stryker must.
I don't either.
Me neither. I got no heat with Logan. No, dude, I popped when I seen him. That was awesome. But I think this match, they did Logan that way so we could get the return of Seth Rollins, right?
Agreed, yes.
So I'm fine with that. Like, I may not agree with Logan taking out half the field, but I know why he did now. And you got that moment. My question in the moment was this: where was Austin Theory? That door was open forever. Like, he couldn't leave Paul's side, run around the chamber, get in, and hit Rollins from behind. That was my question. That was my problem with this. Like, he just stood there and watched his buddy get, eat the mat. Like, what is this? Is Theory an insider now, where he didn't act and he's with Rollins and they're just waiting for everybody to get healed up and back, and now Theory turns? I don't know. That was my biggest question and maybe my biggest problem with it, but I had no problem with Rollins coming back. It got a reaction. We got that stare down and look between Rollins and Cody.
Yeah.
And the first thing I wondered is, man, we've seen that before, but we haven't seen it where Cody's a heel and Rollins is the face. And, everybody kind of talks about Cody going heel as we head towards WrestleMania or after WrestleMania. So there was some teasing there, some foreshadowing. So I dug that. I dug how it was a surprise. I didn't have Randy Orton winning, and I loved how he won. It was quick, one finisher, boom. And I don't think Randy Orton's going to make it to WrestleMania. Randy Orton's going to make it to WrestleMania, but I don't think he's taking on Drew at WrestleMania. I don't think
it's a 4-way.
You think it's a 4-way?
A couple people I've talked to are speculating that somehow Jacob Fatu interferes in the Cody Drew match that's coming up on Friday, and and Nick Aldis just getting so fed up he puts them all in the match.
Okay, I'm fine with that. What if Cody beats Drew and it's Cody Randy Orton?
I wouldn't be upset with that.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I would not be upset with that at all.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Unless he and Jacob Fatu have a straight up just one-on-one war at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't be upset with that either.
I don't know what that means, but it's interesting. We got 7 weeks until WrestleMania. 7 weeks from tonight, we'll still be enjoying night 2 of the biggest show of the year. So WrestleMania season is well upon us. Of course, Elimination Chamber, the last PLE for the main card before the show, before WrestleMania. Of course, NXT has Vengeance Day next weekend, and that airs on Peacock, correct?
Yes, that'll be the last NXT show on Peacock.
That'll be the last thing you get on Peacock for new content. And then we don't know where Stand and Deliver is going to be on yet, but Stand and Deliver is the beginning of April. So NXT's got time to make their stuff happen. Probably a lot of stuff happening at Vengeance Day next weekend. We'll probably mention it a little bit on the show next weekend at some point. But that about puts a bow on episode 240, the most over box in wrestling. Wait. We didn't talk about the most over box.
Right.
Give me your thoughts. I want to know what you thought about this. and I want you to explain what happened when they opened that box and what was in that box.
Okay, so I had a feeling what was coming out of the box. Who was coming out of the box? I just had this inkling. You're in Chicago. You talk about, checking off boxes for CM Punk. Well, CM Punk and Danhausen are really good friends. The box did not look big enough to hold 6 Danhausen women and Danhausen himself.
I think there were 10.
Were there 10?
I think there were 10 women.
I thought there were only 6 because it's three on each side. Because there were only 6 in the ring.
There were a lot.
There were. Definitely didn't look big enough to hold all of them, but coming out of the casket, let me back up. When Aldis and Pierce opened the box and they looked at each other and were like, what the fuck is going on? Because they didn't know what to do, and they just kind of looked at each other and shrugged it off like, yeah, we're out. Walked off like it was nothing. And then the coffin opens and out comes the Danhausen dancers, if you will. And Danhausen comes out. He was kind of getting booed in Chicago a little bit. Being a Chicago boy like Punk, that kind of surprised me.
Did that surprise? I mean, what were people expecting?
Chris Jericho.
If it wasn't Jericho, he's not coming, guys. He's not going to come here for at least the second half of the year.
Here's the thing.
Still
Jericho's touring with Fozzy, and TK has frozen his contract because of the tour. At least that's what I'm hearing.
I just came up with a new tag team idea.
Uh-oh.
The RPA, the Ratings Protection Agency. It's Pierce and Aldis. These guys just need to go into business for themselves and just start making matches where they just go kick the shit out of people that have been giving them problems.
And they could do it too.
And they can do it. Those guys are legit. So I'm for that. I'm for Pierce and Aldis having like an open challenge and just beating the shit out of people at WrestleMania.
Yeah. If you have never seen Pierce and Aldis wrestle, go out of your way. I'm sure there's excuse me. I'm sure there's matches on YouTube. Go out of your way and take a look at it because holy crap.
So go back to the box and who comes out and what happens.
Well, I mean, Danhausen comes out.
And who is Danhausen?
Danhausen is a very nice, very evil. I don't know how to describe. He's very much leaning towards the comedy wrestler bit. He carries a jar of teeth to the ring, which you saw him give to Michael Cole. Those teeth he uses, he stuffs them in people's mouths and then kicks them in the face so they spit them out, which I don't fully understand, but okay. But his big claim to fame is he has the ability to curse people. And if you go back when he was being featured fairly prominently on AEW television, you could see him even curse William Regal. William Regal took a curse from this guy. And so he legit is some kind of magical being. Maybe not a wizard like I am, but yeah, that's the best way I can describe him, Nick.
Okay. I just wanted you to describe to the fans that really don't know. I mean, I know who he is. I know what his bid is. Is the WWE the right place for him? And if it is, do they have the right platform? How are they going to use them? I mean, they can't put him out there in matches.
I don't know, because he's not, WWE. Sorry, WWE has R-Truth as their comedy guy.
Well,
but R-Truth can wrestle.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but our comedy guy, Stryker, says Truthhausen.
No, it's going to be a faction. It's going to be Truth, Danhausen, and Joe Hendry.
Okay.
That's the triple threat right there.
Okay. That's very interesting.
And I don't think I don't have anything against Danhausen. He's a decent talent. I've seen some of his matches, but it's just a comedy shtick. He's a bring me up guy, to steal a term from Bruce Pritchard. You have bring me up matches. He's a bring me up guy. I have no idea how they're going to use him. I don't know if this is the right fit for him. Maybe they send him to AAA and he does some stuff with Mr. Iguana. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't see how he fits in. I could see him more, he really, I didn't think AEW was a good fit for him. I can maybe see him finding a place in TNA, but I'll be interested to see what they do with him. And, Striker saying put him on NXT. I don't know that he would fit with NXT right now.
I mean, I think he's got to be put on the main roster, right? They teased this thing on Raw, SmackDown for the weeks leading up to Elimination Chamber, of course, in Chicago.
Right.
This took place yesterday or last night after we record. We record this on Sundays. I don't know what the plan is. Like he's not, I mean, I can't see him walking around just being CM Punk's lackey this whole time. Like,
right.
Probably going to be involved, R-Truth, or if they're in a town somewhere involved with a celebrity that's from that town or something, I could see the backstage segment. I don't know. I don't know, but that's I see him doing more of that stuff than I do in ring stuff. That's just my opinion.
And I'm not trying to shit on Dan.
No, I'm not either.
I think I love what he does. I think he's hilarious. I think he's fun to watch. He's entertaining, but I just don't see his place.
Right.
Maybe they'll show us what his place is going to be tomorrow night on Raw as we record this.
Okay. Right.
Because you got to think he's going to be on Raw with Punk, right?
Is Raw in Chicago?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked.
I mean, you would think he's going to be on Raw, or be associated with Punk in some regards.
I would think so too.
Right.
I would think so. Well, and that Striker, I was just reading Striker's comment. He'd be fun to watch. I think that'd be a fun match, him and Santana Jackson,
Oh, for sure.
Brilliant segue there, Striker, because I don't know that he knew this, but we've got Santana Jackson coming on next week.
Oh my gosh, the smooth criminal himself. If you've never seen or experienced a Santana Jackson match, it is an experience, and I can't wait to have them in the studio next weekend to talk to them about this persona that they take on, that they become like during the match. And I love it. It's awesome. I can't wait. And getting them in the studio is going to be great. Good job, Booker, man.
And good job for Striker for giving me that transition. That was a great.
Sure.
So that, I think, is going to put a bow on this episode of Card Subject to Change. Be sure to send your
letter grade.
What?
We'll give our letter grades too before we go.
Oh.
Go ahead and do prayers for Pringella. That's more important.
Yeah. Send your thoughts and prayers out to Pringella. Hope for a quick recovery for her. But I'll let you go ahead, Nick, because I want to hear your letter grade.
C+.
C+, okay.
C+.
I'm going to be a little more generous, and I'm going to give it a B-.
Okay.
So I think it wasn't quite low enough to be a C+, but if there were an in between there, I would probably put it somewhere in between a C+. Good night, everybody. Whenever Nick starts to sing, and we risk getting sanctioned and a cease and desist. That means it's time to end the show. Any final thoughts, my friend?
No, I probably shouldn't.
All right. Well, for my tag team partner, Mr. Never Wrong Nick Bull, I am the Wizard CZ. This has been another episode of Card Subject to Change, and we'll see you here next week for another brand new episode.